Hi.
Hi, Lucette. Hello, Lucette. Oh, Sham. How are you?
Fine. I was busy with another Zoom call and I'm like, please, I need to leave. I need to leave. Then I like switch off the camera. It's like,
No problem. No problem. We're just going to wait till 7 more minutes, till 11, if that's okay. And then we'll welcome everyone and then we can start. But yeah, we're all good. And then I'll just make you a host and you can share your presentation.
Thank you. It seems like it's going to.
Perfect. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, perfect, Lizette. Okay, so there's about 16 people joining the training. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. We have the lovely Lizette Basson from Erinvale Estate Hotel and Spa that's going to give us training on this beautiful property. So yes, thank you. Thank you for being with us today, Lizette. Enjoy. Thanks.
Thanks so much. So I just wanted to double check everyone can see my screen.
I can. I'm sure the rest can.
Great, then I'll just jump ahead and get going. So just from my side, I'm Lizette Basson and I represent Erinvale Estate Hotel and Spa here in the beautiful Somerset West. So I know most of you sitting in Joburg and some in Durban, but you won't believe it, eventually we are getting summer in Cape Town, but it's still, today is kind of a chilly summer day, but yeah, we're ready. So I'll start my screen by just sharing my contact details. It's a Tiscali address, so I'm the representative. Some of you might know Karen and Essie. There are girls up in Joburg also representing us. So, but if you need any info, please, and also keep my email address here because I'm giving away some breakfast vouchers. So should you be traveling down to Cape Town, or maybe if you're based here, let me know and we would gladly assist and hand you some vouchers. So yeah, that's my dubason@tiscali.co.za. All right, Erinvale Golf and Spa Hotel. If you're coming in from Cape Town Airport, situated over there, it takes you about 32 minutes to get to Erinvale Hotel. Sorry, I just need to minimize. I can't see looking into my own face here. So it's about 32 minutes to get to Erinvale. And this area here is a green belt. So you think Somerset West, and I mean, especially if you're not from Cape Town, and even if you are from Cape Town, we think Somerset West is like just a little town. You know, why would you want to send anyone to Somerset West? I'm going to tell you why, because we're surrounded with this massive green belt. In fact, 3 wine estates walking distance from the hotel. So it really is it's a little hideaway in the middle of the winelands. So if you want to go back to town, it will take you from Erinvale back to the city centre about 45 minutes on an easy day. So not too far out of CBD. So if you want to do a Robben Island or maybe Table Mountain and you want to base in Erinvale, it's also a very, very easy drive out. So we're very close to the N2 National Highway. So it's a quick drive from the Estate Hotel down Lawrenceford Road that leads you out onto the N2 Highway. So quick and easy. So just going on to our next slide. This is where Erinvale Hotel is. So this is the U shape, Erinvale Hotel. And as I mentioned, the green belt. So this is the golf course on the left-hand side. It's a Gary Player 18-hole golf course. And this actually leads beautifully right into the mountains over there. And on the right-hand side, this is the Lawrenceford Wine Estate. And at Lawrenceford, you can do chocolate tasting, chocolate and wine pairing, a coffee tasting. There's some home brewed beer. And we've got a lovely food market on a Friday and Saturday, as well as a Sunday. So on a weekend, there's a lot of entertainment going out on at Lawrenceford. And in the front, these beautiful trees that you see here, this is actually Vergelegen Wine Estate. And then to the left of Vergelegen, this is Morgenster Wine Estate. All right, I love starting with a slide because we are the only hotel in South Africa that's listed as one of the historic hotels of the world. So on the left-hand side here, you will see the Manor House. And this actually was a Simon van der Stel house. So way back in the years when he owned most of the wine farms in Cape Town. This is where one of his daughters moved to because the 2 daughters just didn't like one another. So she moved off the Vergelegen property and then came to stay at this beautiful house here. So that manor house today is looking like this. It is a beautiful manor house, typical Cape Dutch style. And just before COVID, on the left-hand side, if you can see my cursor, that used to be the entrance. So during the first few months of COVID, we closed the property and we did an extensive refurb on the property. So this manor house here has always had this door and we never used it. So this is the original entrance door to the manor house. And when you enter right into the reception area over here. And then to the left, we added this lovely new space. So this is where our reception used to be. So it's now a library come lounge area. There's a coffee machine just around the corner here, so you can make yourself a nice cappuccino and just sip and enjoy the sun. So we also invite the guests to do some book swaps. So you might just take a book off the shelf that previously belonged to someone from Germany, or wherever in the world, and then they might be taking something from a South African back with them to Europe. So on the right-hand side of the reception area is the bistro. This is our oak restaurant, and the bistro is on the inside. And again, loads of books, and the ladders, they are being used. So depending on the guests, and if they're really big on reading, it's lovely to see how they browse through the books. Also added some plug points here. So if you want to just sit and charge your cell phone or work on your laptop, also a lovely space to work from. Leading out from the bistro side, the Oak Tree Bistro, is our oak terrace. And obviously the oak terrace, because this is a massive old oak tree, and I think it's way over 100 years old. And we extended the terrace during the COVID period, so we've now can host more people outside, and just again a lovely view. So this is our first restaurant, the Oak Terrace Restaurant and Bistro. Outside, we created some extra lounging spaces, and that we also find that obviously that COVID brought this along, but people want to really just be outdoors and breathing some fresh air. Not as the air through these masks that we have to wear. So this is our chef, Stefan. Stefan is a brilliant chef. He actually runs the menus of all three our restaurants, but you're looking at him in his brand new restaurant called Stefan's. And this is the type of food that he actually brings out from that restaurant. So apart from just being a wonderful chef, he also does pottery. So he's a real artist on the side. And he created his own pottery for his dishes. So in this restaurant called Stefan's, you have the option of doing a 5-course meal or a 10-course meal. And then this is more for your celebration. So I think it takes a maximum of 30 to 6, we can actually seat 60 people in here, but it really is more for your really special occasions and to come and dine on his food. A lovely atmosphere. If you can see the cutlery or the crockery, this is all his designs. And when have you seen a pink plate of food? So this is one of his specialities. This is actually one of his honeycomb ice creams, and it's even the little plate looks like a honeycomb. So really a special restaurant. On the side, we created a buffet area, and this is where we serve our breakfast from. So on the left-hand side here, that slate is actually a freezer slate, so it's quite nice for our cold meats and things that we put on there. And on the right-hand side, we've got some induction plates, so really a lovely space because this is dedicated for buffet. So no one enters there unless they're dishing up for some food. Our third option in the restaurant-wise is the Magnolia Lounge. So again, a lot more modern. So you're looking at this typical Cape Colonial hotel and you think, it's going to be colonial style, but it's really modern on the inside. The bar facility at the back there then serves out onto the pool deck that goes through that door. And then this social dining lounge is really all about getting to know who's sitting next to you and maybe sharing food. And if you're like me and you can't really decide what type of meal you want, you have these small plate meal options. So instead of having a tapas in the middle of the table, you can actually have your own little plate with 4 different dishes on it. So if you are 4 people and you each choose 4 different meals, you've got a selection of 16 dishes on the table. So really a very nice new way of looking at tapas. Again, those dumplings are amazing. And again, the bar facility. So the bar also, we have a little package an activity package that we sell from the hotel. It's called Heart of the Helderberg, that gives you entrance into the various properties surrounding us, as well as the bar here where you can actually come and do a gin tasting. So we work with Erinvale and we can do a gin tasting of about 6 different gins, or else you can come and mix your own gin cocktails at the bar. So that we offer some nice activity around the bar area. And then that's where you can see the pool. leading out onto the pool. And then when you sit at the pool, our homemade ice cream is one of the most sought after dishes at the pool. All right, looking at the back there, you will notice that the roof on the outside is thatched, so typical Cape Colonial style. And one of my favorite views from the A block rooms over here, which is a loft room, my favorite one, and it's actually been taken from this room. So although that's thatch on the outside, we decided to cover the thatch on the inside, because you always have people, thatch has a love-hate relationship. You either love it or you hate it. So there was never an in-between. So now you can experience this Cape Colonial style on the outside, but when you're sleeping in your room, it's completely covered. So a loft room being at the top has got those nice high volume ceilings that you would expect from your thatch, but completely covered. All the bathrooms have got a separate bath and a separate shower. I'll go into the bathrooms just now. And a lovely USB points next to the headboard, so you don't have to, think where you plugged your phone in to be charged. So it's literally right next to your headboard. And every room comes with a slippers and rope, and then a coffee machine and a little fridge in there. The downstairs rooms, this is a typical classic room downstairs. This then leads out onto a lovely patio, and this is actually takes you into the courtyard of the hotel that you've just seen that video, the photo that was taken from the top. So very similar styles, but again, it hasn't got the high volume ceiling, just the normal ceilings. A nice photo of one of the extra courtyard loft rooms. We're not big on interleading rooms. In fact, we've only got one interleading room. And then this is a typical family room, or else you can also book this as a suite. And this sleeper couch can then sleep any kids under 12. So we don't prefer the kids above 12 to use the sleeper couch. So any children staying with their parents and they sharing a room like this, they will stay with us for free. And then there's a supplement for the breakfast section. But otherwise, accommodation-wise, sharing with their parents, they stay with us for free. Again, one of our suites. Also, this is a sleeper couch that can be converted into a bed. So if we look at our luxury rooms, this is one of our luxury rooms. Again, everything on the inside is the same, except the size differ. So your luxuries will all have a little lounge area added to it. This is one of my favorites. It's actually room number 1. And if you look out on the left-hand side, it's got a private patio, completely private. So it's also quite popular with our brides because there's a lot of space to get dressed in, and it's got a beautiful big round bath in the bathroom. So looking at talking about bathrooms, separate baths, separate showers in all our rooms. We've got one Erinvale suite, or a presidential suite, if you want to call it that. It's got a separate lounge area, and then at the back also a little dining table, and that leads out onto a private patio that looks out onto our herb garden. And on the left hand side, it's got a little kitchenette. And then from the kitchenette, it leads into a separate room. So the room is not part of the suite. And then we've got another one, a junior suite, that's got a separate lounge area as well. But then you can actually see the door that it leads into the bedroom. We're fairly big on conferencing. So this actually, during the year, we've got a lot of corporates that make use of the property. And then on weekends, it's a lot more leisure. But just at least to give you an idea what our conference venues look like. And then this is also a lovely banqueting hall if you want to get married with at Erinvale. So obviously with COVID, this is what we do, is you are being served, you won't dish up for yourself. And even as far as the coffee is concerned, we will have someone there pouring up your coffee for you. All our venues have got natural light, so we're very big on natural light. And apart just from, having light come in, all these doors can open up. So you've got fresh air streaming into your conference room. All right, and just another COVID setup. We've got a chapel on the property. It seats about 60 people and very popular with our international guests, specifically because it is just a quaint little chapel on the property. And I think typical of our South Africans, we like the big weddings and 60 might just be too small, but if you into small weddings, this is really a lovely venue. And also the chapel is right next to our banqueting venue, so it leads into the banqueting venue. The spa on the property, we own the spa, so it's called the Magno. Why am I now completely off my rocket? Sorry, I'm thinking of the conference center. So the Lure Spa is owned by the hotel, and we have a lovely whirlpool, heated whirlpool on the inside. So if you want, and you may be booking us for a conference or an event, or maybe a big group booking, you can actually ask us to book out the spa exclusively for you. We do need quite some lead time on this because the spa is open to the public, and we just need to ensure that we open up the diary for you guys. But this is it is possible to do that. And then also use this area maybe to do some foot massages or maybe manicures and pedicures. And then we've got 2 treatment rooms that are double rooms like this. That's quite nice for 2 friends to share, or mom and daughter, or husband and wife. So when you lie in this pool or even sit on these couches, that view over there on the Helderberg Mountains is beautiful. It actually looks like a photo, not the real view, but it's stunning. And the spa also has an outside pool area. The rooms here on this side was actually just finished. We finished the renovation on them now during the winter period. So they all also have these double glazed European style windows that keeps the noise level out as well as the heat out in the summer, and then reverse for the winter. When you look at the golf course, so you can book your golfing with us. We have got membership at the golf club, so we're not situated on the golf course. It literally is our neighbor, but we can book off your we can book your tee off times for you. And then at the 18th hole, which this one is, you see the beautiful Strand, Gordons Bay beach front over there. And on the left-hand side, you will look onto the vineyards at Lawrenceford, or looking to the front, you will look right into the Helderberg Mountains. It really is a spectacular golf course. So when you look at Cape Town playing golf, you want to maybe play Steenberg, Pearl Valley, and definitely Erinvale golf course. So those 3 are some of your top golf courses in Cape Town. I briefly touch on the package, or the activity package that you can purchase from us. This is called the Heart of the Helderberg package, and you can also pull the PDF off our website. So our website is purely just erinvale.co.za. Very easy, erinvale.co.za. So on the top right-hand corner, you will see Lawrenceford. So if you like chocolate and you like wine, this is a very nice activity because you can do a chocolate and wine pairing. So they also have the Tombs chocolate factory on the property, and you can buy some extra chocolates on your way home. So yeah, we've got the activities actually listed out here. So at Morgenstern, I don't know if you've ever done an olive oil tasting, but it's quite interesting. And for those that don't just want to sip on olive oil, which is not really something to drink, but at least you want to taste it, they've got some balsamic vinegar, some lovely breads, and you can dip it in the olive oil and balsamics. But it's added to their wine tasting. So you do a wine tasting as well as an olive oil tasting at Morgenstern. At Vergelegen here, which is our neighbor, they have beautiful gardens that you want to browse through. And they have this massive map that you can actually walk through the gardens as well as the historical monuments. This is where they've got a house there that Nelson Mandela would actually have brought all his guests to Vergelegen to explain to them what the history of Cape Town is all about, or the Western Cape. And every ship, the first ships that ever entered the harbor, every single person on that ship, the names was actually written on the wall. So it's quite interesting to see, you know, the different names and maybe even see where they come from. So really interesting. So apart from the gardens and the beautiful space that they've got at Vergelegen, you can do a wine tasting at Vergelegen. Lawrenceford is obviously, as I mentioned, the chocolate and wine pairing, as well as a coffee roasting company at Lawrenceford, where you can taste the coffee and experience the different taste of coffee as it comes down from the north of Africa right down to the bottom of South Africa, and then the different tastes that you get. The all brew tasting, which is the beer tasting, that's also at Lawrenceford. And then I mentioned the local gin tasting that's available at Erinvale. So all of this, you can actually purchase the package at Erinvale Hotel. And it works at about not even 60 Rand for a tasting or an experience. So really is good value for money. If you're very much into your yoga or the lifestyle retreating side of things, then Lawrenceford also offers you yoga classes, and we can book this for you as well. So if you want to do it out on the lawn or use their studios, it also is a very nice option just to come and relax at Erinvale. So I mentioned the golf course as well as the 3 wine farms, but on the left-hand side of the golf course, adjacent to us is the nature reserve. It's the Helderberg Nature Reserve. And depending on your fitness levels, you can do 3 different hiking trails here. It leads you right up into the mountain. So all you need to do is pack in a pair of hiking shoes, or doesn't have to, if you want to do the boots and climb mountains, you're more than welcome. But otherwise, just come with your tackies and come and stroll our beautiful Helderberg area. We are part of the preferred group. So if you've got members, I mean, South Africa is not strong on the preferred side, but should you know of anyone that burns preferred points, they can come and burn it at Erinvale as well. I have included this SGO domestic rate sheet for you. It's always just for me, I want to know what's the cost. You know, it's looking beautiful, but what is it going to cost my client? So this is what we currently have got as an agreement with you guys. So just to have a look at leading anything from the 30th of September onwards. So here you're looking at a single rate that you've got to sell us at 1955, but we're actually selling it on the website at 2950. And again, double rates 2350, and our double rates will be selling in this period from October onwards at 33. So these are for your standard rooms. So if you want to take a screenshot, you're more than welcome, or else I'm sure you'll have it on your systems, but just added obviously supplements for the luxury rooms, premium rooms, and suites at the bottom. Okay, and that's me. It's the end of my slideshow. So if there's anything that you want or any questions that you've got, you're more than welcome to add that to the chat box. It's not Jason or Johnson Naidu. You asked me if it's still owned by the same family. This Erinvale Hotel is actually owned by a German person. He bought it about 8 years ago, and he's really invested a lot in the property. So every single year, he's just adding to the property. The past 5 years, I think we've either just done the domestic areas, or we've done the conferencing areas or the rooms. So currently, now that we've redone the restaurants and all the public areas, we're revisiting the rooms again, you know, and they were only done up just before COVID. We finished the last room. So we now doing some softs, adding new scatter cushions, new prints on the wall. So there's always something happening at Erinvale to keep it new. So yeah, watch this space. By next year, we might have some new news for you. Yeah, so pop me a question in the chat box. Otherwise, if you took down my email address, or if you're not, I can just again remind you, it's Du Basson. My surname is Basson, but it's Du Basson, like in the French, Du Basson at tiscali.co.za. And I'd like to know from you what we call that lovely activity package that we spoke about. So pop me an email, and I would gladly send you a breakfast voucher. So I've got 6 breakfast vouchers to give away, so don't feel shy. Do you get more couples or families at Erinvale? I have to tell you that if you look at our restaurants and how it's supported by the locals, we have a lot of families in our restaurants. So the Magnolia is very popular, as well as the Terrace for families. And then we find a lot of honeymooners in the area, or more of your discerning travelers that you know, that's not your typical city lodger or your Marriott type of client, but prefer the smaller. We've only got 56 bedrooms. Sorry, I actually failed to mention that. 56 bedrooms. So we are a small boutique hotel. So if you've got someone that say, I want to do nature, or I want to do winelands, but I don't really like the busyness of Stellenbosch, or, you know, I mean, you can hardly find parking these days in Franschhoek, believe it or not. So if you want to go to Franschhoek and you self-drive, parking is always an issue. Where if you're coming to Erinvale, you can leave your car and actually walk the beautiful area across to Vergelegen and Lawrenceford and be in the wineland. So I would say it's more for your type, typical person that's not the city CBD type, nightclub type. But yeah, we do have people coming with families, but I would say more your people that really want peace and calm. Okay, hiking trails, do you get more couples? Hiking trails, are they definitely kid friendly, definitely. Because there's 3 hiking trails that you can do. If you want to do the easier one, definitely that's easy enough for the kids. I've done 2 of them. Haven't done the climbing yet, but it's not a massive climbing. It's just the fitness levels. I'm lacking the fitness levels. That's all. All right. I hope every question was asked or answered, but please, I'm here. If you need to get hold of me, let me know. I'm happy to also just, answer some calls on emails or telephone.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lizette. It's a beautiful property. I'm in Cape Town and I've never been to Erinvale, so I would love to come and give those restaurants a chance. I'm aware it looks amazing. Thank you so much for the training, and I'm sure everyone enjoyed it. And yes, we look forward to visiting this beautiful property.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And please, if you're in Cape Town and you're venturing out this way, I really actually mentioned it to Chris the other day. I said, let's just bring the teams out. Get you have been living out
Yes,
for quite some time, so bring out your team. We would love to host your team for a breakfast and then do a proper site inspection and see it. It's so much easier if you've seen it.
no,
Just
definitely.
okay.
Definitely, we will arrange something. Thank you so much, Lizette. Have a wonderful day. Thanks, everyone. Thank
Joining.
you.
Okay,
Thanks. Bye.
bye.